Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today with me, Carlos Calone. In our headlines, political scientists call for stakeholder collaboration to curb increasing voter apathy, as shown in a research by Global Info Analytics.
It in your stride, work with it, and then see whether you can improve your fortunes. That's all.
Also coming up, Joy News Filth exhibition shows traders combine efforts to tidy up the market instead of relying solely on government assistance to deal with the incessant filth menace. Also, there's business, sport, and showbiz in this package. Please stay. We are grateful you could join us here on Joy News. Now, a research by election analysis research group, Global Info Analytics, has shown there's a rise in voter apathy, even as Ghana gets ready for a major election in December. The figures show a growing population in the newly created regions are undecided on whether to vote. Also, 23% of respondents in Ashanti region say they won't vote, and 22% in Greater Accra region will also not vote. More supporters of the governing New Patriotic Party say they won't vote as against supporters of the opposition National Democratic Congress. Now, Director of Elections and Research of the governing New Patriotic Party, Evans Nimako, says this research will not affect their chances in the upcoming polls.
The political party, we are undertaking our in-house program. We are going to go into the election, and our candidate, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, will win massively over Mr. John Dramani Mahama. So let Mr. Musa Dankwa have it clear in his mind. And you can look at all the publications he has done when NPP is involved. And I've never, in any occasion, written off his outcome. But it's becoming one too many. This will not change the position of the New Patriotic Party across the country. When you take constituency A to the last constituency, we have more numbers than the NDC. And we are doing in-house arrangements to ensure that on the election day, the New Patriotic Party membership will turn out massively and vote for our candidate.
Now, political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Quam Asante, wants stakeholder engagement to end this menace.
If this report is anything to go by, then I think the MPP must take it in their stride, work on it, and then see if they can turn the situation to improve their lot.
Well, not just the MPP, but the NDC is also there. But as you say, this is anything to go by. Should we be concerned as a people?
Obviously, the people, we must be concerned. But it is more worrying for political parties because they don't want to win power. So if people are saying that, yes, especially your stronghold, that I'm not going to vote, it calls for worry. You must quickly put your acts together, get on the ground, talk to people, find out what is it that is affecting them, for which reason they do not want to take part in elections, and then begin to work at it. It's not late, and you need a very sober reflection on this, and then you work with it. From this time onwards, any research that comes out, whether it is scientifically, proper research, so-called, or not, you take it in your stride, work with it, and then see whether you can improve your fortunes. That's all.
Now, a member of the Convention People's Party, Kwame Jantua, has also been speaking on this on News Desk.
I think these figures will be true. Because the present moment, when you look at the country and where the country is, everybody feels under pressure of the economy. And if we're going to straighten things, then people have to vote. The apathy would allow either of the major parties or even some of the smaller parties to cause trouble for those who think can win the election. So for me, I would say it's early days yet, and these figures will come down. If you look at the presidential, that one would have a huge effect on either of the two major parties. But the question is then asked, with regard to the other parties on the ballot, the Butterfly and the New Force, CPP and the others having brought out their presidential candidates. So at the present moment, we can't talk about those ones because we don't know the kind of impact that individual who is going to be a flag bearer of the smaller parties would make on the election. But for those who have declared, it can create problems and maybe sometimes can push the election into a second round.
Now, still on politics, flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Bawumia, has been meeting key players in the pharmaceutical industry. This engagement is part of his bold solution for the future initiative, which seeks to collect views from key stakeholders to influence the manifesto direction of the party going into the general election.
Being paid so I think we have to look at that matter. A fit-for-purpose structure for training pharmacists, 100% agree. Look, if we want to do this, there are many, we want to be the best in the service, in the pharmaceutical. There are many aspects of being the best. Human capital, the training is key. Otherwise, you won't be the best. Yesterday, I was able to commission the hostel facility to train at the Trinity Theological Seminary. And that is something which we got get fund to do. And so if you want to do something as important as a training of pharmacists, you have to put the resources there to build it also. And we are also doing that even for Kayaye. Yes, we have got skills training centers that I will be commissioning next month to train Kayaye to sort of get into. So we build these things. So why can't we build a major pharmaceutical training center for our pharmacists who deliver the goods for us in the side? So I'm very fully agreeable to this.
Now let's cross over live to the venue where the Vice President has been addressing the key stakeholders, where my colleague Samuel Mbura is standing by with the latest. Now, Samuel, what have the stakeholders been telling the Vice President with regards to their concerns? Hello, Samuel?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yeah, I'm saying the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has had the opportunity today to meet with the Vice President. And they have been raising concerns about their operations. And these are mostly large-scale producers of and manufacturers of medicine in the country. So their major concern has to do with the inadequate financing system or mechanism for them to boost their production to augment healthcare delivery in the country. Another one has to do with the lack of skilled personnel in the pharmaceutical industry. Their concern is about specialization in pharmaceutical-related courses and building the capacity of pharmacists in the country. Another issue that they raised had to do with the low number of professionals in the system. They are asking that Bawumia, if he is given the opportunity, he should employ more of pharmacists in the system, because as we speak now, they are inadequate in the system. And that is one of the major hurdles that they have been faced with. So they have actually presented a myriad of concerns or challenges they have been bedeviled with. And they are expecting that if the Vice President is elected, he would come to their aid to help them resolve the challenges.
And how specifically has the Vice President been reacting to these concerns?
Well, the Vice President says that the concerns as raised by the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana actually align with his policy for the health sector. And he totally agrees with them. He spoke about the fact that there's a need for a fit-for-purpose infrastructure or institution to train pharmacists in the country, offering scholarship to the pharmacists to move out of the country and specialize, come back, and also the need to work on the import system or duties at the port, so that at least pharmaceutical equipment or products will be, there will not be any stress, any financial stress on them in clearing such goods. So he agrees largely with the concerns that they have raised and has assured that he would provide incentives for the pharmaceutical sector if he is elected.
Samuel Mbura, we are so grateful for your time. We'll still keep our eyes on the story and update you in a subsequent bulletin. But away from that story, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono has justified her decision to accept a request by the Attorney General to expedite the hearing of a case filed by the NDC's MP Roxanne Nelson Dapamakpo against the approval of some ministerial nominees. The Chief Justice came under a barrage of criticisms, with the NDC accusing her of bias, addressing members of the Judicial Press Corps on a wide range of issues. Justice Tokono revealed for the first time the content of the letter from the agent, insisting the reasons for the request was cogent enough to warrant her granting the request. My colleague Kweku Asante of our Legal Affairs Desk was at this news conference and joins us with details. Hello, Kweku. Hello, Kweku Asante.
Hello, Carlos. Hello, Carlos.
All right. So if you can hear me, the CJ insists the new system for shuttling cases is actually working well. Is that it?
Well, exactly. In fact, one very prominent lawyer, Thaddeus Sori, had written a long article over the past few days criticizing the new way of shuttling cases and said it could lead to bias, it could lead to inefficiency in the court system. But today, the Chief Justice says it appears that it's working because that has led to very few cases being adjourned in the court. She believes that that is the new way to go and that the system will be retained, it will not be changed, and that persons who do not really yet have an understanding of how it works will have to now acclimatize themselves with the rule. But as far as she's concerned, that system is working. It is the same system they used in scheduling the case in the Defamation case. They will use it to schedule cases that are now coming up, and the court is confident that is the new way to dispense justice in a way that citizens will be much more excited about it.
Now, it is uncommon to see Chief Justices actually address the media directly. Is the new CJ now going to be speaking to journalists regularly?
Well, quite so, it appears, because this is the second time engaging as members of the Judicial Press Corps. The first time was early this year when she spoke to us on a wide range of issues, and it wasn't even behind closed doors. This was a recorded meeting where you could do the news out of it. She's held the second one today, addressing a wide range of issues. And she's promised that she's going to do more as long as she's continued to remain the Chief Justice of the Republic. She believes that justice is delivered in the name of the people, and as far as she's concerned, these persons need to know what exactly the courts are doing in their name, and that is exactly what she's going to be doing in the near future.
Thank you so much. Kweku Asante is with our political desk, and he's been coming through with that same report. Now, moving on, the Agbogbloshe traders combine efforts to tidy up the market instead of relying solely on government assistance to deal with the incessant-filled menace. Evidently, after a raining Wednesday morning, the market area was clean. Yes, choked gutters remain a matter of concern. My colleague Sweetie Abochi brings you today's episode of Field Exhibition from the Agbogbloshe market, highlighting the traders' proactive efforts and the work that remains.
This is Agbogbloshe. It's just about 5 hours after a heavy rainfall, and we came to the market to assess the sanitation situation in Agbogbloshe. But upon entering the market, we realized that the market looked clean. For a second there, we thought that the impact of our JoyNews series Field Exhibition perhaps had caused our leaders to clean up the city a little bit. So we went out to ask the market women what really accounts for the cleanliness we see. Now is a market woman here in Agbogloshi.
Why is the town clean today?
Today because of the rain, that's why. And Wednesday no market. But tomorrow, Thursday, we have Agbogloshi market here. Okay. The cabbage peoples and all the peoples will come on this area. But today, no market.
But who cleans the market? When was the last time you saw AMA, Zoom Lion, anybody? Do they come and clean here?
Yes, AMA peoples.
When?
They used to come here on once in the while, month. Actually, first time when the rain is falling, you will see this side is not nice. Okay. But because of a dome coastal, okay, they come and do some coastal here. Okay. That's why they make here clean. Okay. They make this place clean.
So the people, they are Dome Coastal people, they are the ones who clean up the market.
And the market woman too. We gather and pay 70 each. We the sellers here, we gather to pay 70, and Adom people to help us to do it.
Okay. So you clean the market yourselves, and not the AMA who comes to clean the market?
No, not the AMA.
So just a few meters from where Nas spoke to us, let's now engage Kenneth.
In this area, for instance, we have these Radiadum Coastal. They are the ones who actually wanting to sell their wares here. So they came to put some sand and some gravels and all those things. And now today, our market is looking very good. At the moment, it's not our intention to say the market looks good. It's not that bad anyway, because for their sake, today our market looks very good. As to the cleanup exercise, normally what happens is we normally do it periodically. It could happen on Saturday, it could happen on Monday, or any day it falls. And we engage the AMA because they will see to it that we do that until 10 o'clock before we all resume work. That is when the cleanup exercise is ongoing. You know, the market is meant for us and we are in it. So definitely we have to make sure we put our hands together and join our hands together before we could do anything here. You understand what I'm saying?
As a cleanup exercise, is it just surface? Because although it looks on the surface like the market is clean, a deeper look, like into the gutter where we are standing, reveals lots of filth still. Who's responsible for taking care of this?
There are some issues that need to be addressed, like the gutters. Our gutters need to be covered, you understand? And moreover, if they are not, the reason is if they are not covered, a lot of filth enter. You know, rubbers all over, pure water rubber, and a whole lot. People are throwing Maggie rubbers everywhere. And you can see even cabbage. They are even peeling up cabbage and all that. Anything could enter the gutter when it's not covered. And the AMA is also not supporting. Because people are using pallets. That's why I said it boils down to market centers. There should be a market center where everybody could sit. There should be lots where everybody could sit so that they will leave the road to be free, so that the gutters can be free. That's what it is. But if that thing is not happening, then there's no way our gutters will be free.
Regardless of how it looks on the surface, a second look at the gutters where the market women sit on the roads reveal that the gutters are choked and there's still more work to be done. So we caught up with the queen mother of the market, Mabel, and this is what she had to say.
Dear Magata, I have food stuff. I only did the because last week, I'm director, Antimasibaha, my neighbor Gata, me and I mean, can't say any boys no more. You got no because I am a quan about got them. Yes, we are better me. I work market no.
Is it a case that every month AMA actually comes to clean the markets for you?
And yeah, every month. We got time. So yeah, you work market. So you penny from so yes, we are. It was 3 days today. Any on my meeting. Say where you got them. December 2, and can you say where you are? Friday where you got them.
It appears these traders have taken it upon themselves to clean their environment because government is not really helping the situation. How do we move forward from the sanitation crisis? Maybe you have the answers. For Joy News, I'm Sweetie Habochi.
Now, the National Health Insurance Authority is reviewing its medicines list and tariffs to reflect present economic situation of the country. This is among measures being adopted to deal with the challenge of illegal payment, popularly known as co-payment, charged to clients of the insurance scheme. Chief Executive Officer of the NHIA, Dr. Da Costa Boaje, says the needed systems will be instituted for automatic adjustment of tariffs to reflect changes in the economy. My colleague Nana Yao Jima has more in the following report.
According to the NHIA, an average of 180 million cedis is paid monthly as claims to health facilities. In March 2024, the scheme made this payment to ensure servicing of its debts stays within the 90-day window for the payment of vetted debts. Reports of illegal charges at some health facilities, which have become known as co-payments, have continued despite improvement in payments made to the health facilities. Chief Executive Officer of the NHIA, Dr. Da Costa Boaje, explains the appropriate sanctions will be applied following the rollout of incentives, including the review of tariffs.
In fact, it is actually not right that after the National Health Insurance Authority over the last year has made commitment to pay the lower level tier up to December and the upper tier up to October, and facilities are still charging our members. This is not right. We are currently reviewing our tariffs to make sure that it commensurates with the increase in pricing. Once we do that, no facility will have the moral right to charge any of our members in the benefit package that we have provided. Any provider who go contrary to the agreed principles will be sanctioned.
The NHIA is on a long-term cost-saving agenda with procurement of Ghana cards for its 6.3 million users aged between 6 and 14 years. For this reason, the target age group will be issued the National Identification Card instead of the NHIA printing cards for the group.
So we have our own money. Normally we use it to print our NHIS card. We are saying that no, we will support government to print the Ghana card instead. Are we not saving money? Are we not saving money? We are saving a huge sums of money, and it is forward thinking. Anyone who disagrees with this is not for progress.
Meanwhile, a new office has been constructed at Kumewu to serve the needs of subscribers in the catchments. Kwadwo Jumo is Ashanti Regional Head.
This office represents more than just a physical structure. It symbolizes our dedication to innovation, efficiency, inclusivity in healthcare delivery. It will serve a hub for collaboration, creativity, and coordination, enabling us to better serve the healthcare needs of the communities we represent.
The NHIA Chief Executive is on a 3-day tour of the Ashanti region. For Joy News, Nana Yao Jima, Kumasi.
Now, Kenya's President William Ruto has described the current setup of the African Union as dysfunctional, with little accountability in the structures of the Union. The leader of the East African country, who is paying a state visit actually to Ghana, revealed that he had close talks with President Akufo-Addo on the need to reform the African Union and its institutions to transform the continent. William Ruto delivered a public lecture at the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area in Accra, where he strongly urged Africans to join hands in changing the narrative of an African inflicted with poverty and low level of development. There's more in the following report.
A rousing welcome for Kenya's President Dr. William Ruto, who's on a state visit to the Republic of Ghana. The East African leader, as part of his activities, delivered a lecture at the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Secretary General of the continental body, Quam, in his address to the gathering, pointed out how pivotal the African Continental Free Trade Area is and plans to turn around the fortunes of the continent using the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Of course, much remains to be done to make sure that we all realize the ambitions and the goals of the AFCFTA. It presents an unprecedented opportunity for our continent to continue to break the legacy of colonialism. That effort to break the legacy of colonialism, as we all know, started in May 1963 in Addis Ababa at the formation of the Organization of African Unity. We are therefore well poised, a continent of 1.4 billion people, with a combined GDP that is projected by the year 2050 to be close to 16.2 trillion United States dollars. We're well poised to be a single market that is globally competitive, that has advanced industrial development capabilities, that has food security to feed herself by eliminating barriers to trade in intra-Africa.
Taking a stand to address the gathering, Kenya's President William Ruto called for reforms in the global financial architecture while leaving no stone unturned in also calling for accountability and reforms within the African Union.
President Nana Akufo-Addo told us this morning some significant statistics that intra-European trade is all the way to 73-75%. Intra-African trade is down at 12, maybe 14, maybe 15%. And it speaks volumes of not where we are, but the potential that exists for us to grow our trade. It is important for us, if we have to have an African Union that works for the people of our continent, it must be accountable, and there must be a mechanism to adjudicate, a court to adjudicate on matters that affect our organization.
The African Continental Free Trade Area has been described as the last opportunity for the continent to transform and to turn around its economic fortunes. After today's lecture, there is a common resolve by all actors to trade more amongst African countries and to boost economic growth across the continent.
That is very, very key, because in all this trade, there's the need to have a stabilized financial system. And also, it was a good occasion to hear from His Excellency Mene Wamkele talk about the next phase, the next direction, and also to meet captains of industry here to listen. And I know what His Excellency Ruto said, he's going to do it.
I have also confidence in the Continental Free Trade when they assured that they are expecting about 10 billion in the Afri-Exim Bank. That is the essence. If you're able to give resources to the Afri-Exim Bank so that they use it as an onward credit to the trading populace, then of course the attraction also comes.
Blessed Sugan reporting for Joy News, Trade House, Accra.
Now, he dreams of becoming a medical doctor, but finds himself unable to afford further education. Just as he began to navigate this setback by working as a waiter, a serious medical condition, brain tumor, hit him. That's the story of 20-year-old Daniel Okpoti, who is racing against time to undergo surgery to correct the anomaly. He's asking for help to get the surgery done. Here's Zuleha Noho's report, read to you.
Meet Daniel Odwe Okpoti, a once active 20-year-old who has been diagnosed with a brain tumor, resulting in a large lesion occupying space in his brain. This condition has made it difficult for Daniel to control his movements, forcing him to quit his job. His mother, Nancy Dako, spoke to JoyNews about how his condition is affecting them financially and emotionally.
So with his situation has really put me down. It has not been easy. I've been crying all night. I've been having sleepless nights. Even sometimes when I'm at work and then I remember whatever is happening to us now, I have to cry. For the kids even have to come closer to me and said, why, Auntie Nancy, stop crying. What is wrong with you? We can't afford to lose him. So I am pleading with everyone out there, with all due respect. I know this little boy will touch your heart. He's just 20 years of age and he's the only son I have now. So I am pleading with everyone out there that you help me save my son's life, my only son's life. He means a lot to me and I beg everyone out there, without your help, he can't make it. I am pleading with everyone. Nothing is too small for us. Everything that comes from your heart, we'll be much grateful.
A neurosurgeon and consultant at the International Maritime Hospital, Dr. Jimmy Abubakar, is urging the public to assist Daniel in undergoing surgery, which costs 171,000 Ghana cedis, so he can reclaim his life. Daniel shared with JoyNews how his condition is impacting his family, especially his mother.
So when I was told I had brain tumor, I felt surprised and I thought that's all. But the doctor told me something that I should just stay bold and be strong, but everything will be fine. So that kept me very okay from that time. What has really changed is my balance, because first I could run, I could walk fast, I could do everything, I could play football and everything. But for now, when I'm walking, I feel like the world is going around. My dream of becoming a medical doctor is very meaningful to me, so that I can also help people or the sick, so that they can also be on their feet. My family is not stable because my mom is a preschool teacher and my dad is a carpenter, and both of them don't really have that financial support to cater for me or to do my surgery. I'm pleading to the public to help me donate so that I could have my surgery and also come back to my normal position as I was at first, and also so that I shouldn't lose my life, because it's something very serious that if care is not taken, I might lose my life. I want people to help me so that the surgery can be done, so that the stress and the emotions and everything ends, because my family or my mom and my sisters are going through a lot with stress.
Time is of the essence for Daniel Odwe Okpoti. Without the surgery, he faces the risk of blindness, complete loss of movement, several headaches, and possibly death. Doctors, Daniel and his mother are making a heartfelt appeal to the general public for assistance. Zuleha Nuhu's report read to you.
You're still watching Joy News Today with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with business. Please stay with us.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Government has revised the suspension of the price stabilization recovery levy on petroleum products. Now, the move could result in another increase in fuel prices, but this time round by some significant levels. Joy Biafe has more.
The National Petroleum Authority, in a letter to the various oil marketing companies and other players in the industry on April 3, 2024, that was yesterday, announced the reversal of the suspension. It therefore directed these players that from April 4, 2024, that is this morning, the oil marketing companies and other players should therefore apply 16 pesos per litre on petrol, 14 pesos per litre on diesel, and 14 pesos per kilogram on liquefied petroleum gas. This follows an earlier directive as captured in a letter from the National Petroleum Authority, which showed that following the approval secured from the Ministry of Finance and the Energy Ministry, the authority was suspending the price stabilization and recovery levy from April 1, to June this year. It is not clear for now what has influenced this move, as the suspension earlier on, according to the National Petroleum Authority, was to help reduce the expected hikes in fuel prices following the cedi depreciation and rising prices of crude oil on the international market. Well, the oil marketing companies had actually started increasing prices from Wednesday, minus this price stabilization and recovery levy. But they're now telling Joy Business that they are also going to increase prices again at the pumps even before the second pricing window will start from April 16, 2024. If fuel prices go up again by a certain margin, it could trigger an increase in transport fares in the coming days. So be prepared to pay more for fuel and possibly transport fares in the coming days.
The Bank of Ghana is cautioning banks to comply with the directive to provide monthly reports on fraud cases. The central bank said this is to aid in consolidating measures to track fraudsters within the financial sector. According to the head of financial stability at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kwesi Osei-Yeboah, the central bank will continue to collaborate with banks to sanitize the sector. He spoke to Joy Business at a workshop here in Accra.
The Bank of Ghana said it will deepen efforts into the swapping of mobile phone numbers of customers of some banks fraudulently and withdrawing money from their bank account. Dr. Kwesi Yeboah indicated to Joy Business that the bank is committed to ensure sanity within the financial sector.
The figures I gave with respect to 2023, from the fraud data we've received from banks, and mind you, banks are supposed to report all fraud cases to Bank of Ghana. Even if nothing happened, you're still supposed to submit a nil report to us that nothing happened within the space. So every month, banks are supposed to submit these reports to us, and from these reports, the fraud that we've identified associated with SIM swap is what I mentioned. From the bank side, we've had 15 reported cases, and the value at loss, like I said, is about 4.8 million Ghana cedis. On the PSP space, we've had about 14,655 cases, and the value at loss, like I said, is around 16 million. So, for us, even if it's one fraud, it's important to us. We would wish, much as it may sound unrealistic, that there isn't any fraud at all. But any fraud is important to us because it speaks to the concerns that consumer would have for the financial or the banking space. So we are always concerned about any fraud at all that happens within the banking sector.
Chief Executive Officer for the Association of Banks, John Ewa, called for a clear-cut approach in addressing fraud-related cases within the financial sector.
And also for our customers, as we are moving a significant portion or volumes of our operations to digital platforms, confidence is important, and trust in the system is also very important. Where you have a situation where fraudsters have a free day and there is no clear-cut thresholds on where responsibilities end and begin, you have the terrain that is left to the fraudsters. And that is why a meeting such as this is critical and it's very important for us as banks, and I'm sure for all the players within that digital financial services arena. We do not want to have even one fraud, because one fraud is one too many. And we want a situation where if fraud occurs, there is a clear-cut mechanism for following up through to getting the fraudster apprehended.
The Bank of Ghana said it will work collectively with other financial sector players to address all challenges affecting the sector. James Echen's report for Joy Business.
That's it for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. That will be at 1 p.m. where the marketplace. Sports is next.
Time now to bring you sports on the Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. One of Ghana's gold medalists in the just-ended African Games, Mohamed Ayite, has called on the government of Ghana and the Ghana Boxing Authority to invest in the sport. According to him, with the right investment, Ghana will be able to win more medals in subsequent competitions.
Most of our friends and our colleagues that we start with, some of them have stopped boxing due to financial problems and stuff. Some of them too are still in the game, and I think we need a lot of support. We all come from Jamestown, and it's not that really easy for us. We are putting ourselves, we are trying all our possible best that we could get to somewhere, but as we are all doing it and we don't get a lot of support, you know, there are so many people that stopped on the way, but we just have the focus that when the going gets tough, the tough must get going. So we just put our aim and our determination and everything in it, and we hope to get somewhere.
I see. So there's a lot in terms of support that you guys need.
Yes.
Tell me about the infrastructure that is around generally. I mean, the gyms and how well equipped they are. I mean, you have been out there in the US. You've had the opportunity to go and fight outside in the US. You look at what's happening there. What would you want to see change here in our system?
All right, we have to get a lot of training equipments, and I think training equipments and training equipment is the most important thing, because some of our clubs here in Ghana, we don't have good training equipment, and also the boxers, we don't have, we are lacking the financial support for real, because some of us, we just close from training, and if you don't get what to eat and all those stuff, so those ones are the most important things that I think we need. And these are some of the things when we get, it really inspires us to put much focus in the game, because we don't get it.
Let's wrap up this conversation with what you want to do going forward. There's one more opening for Olympic qualification in Thailand. Is this something you would want to explore?
All right, so I'm willing to stand for Ghana for the second time at the Olympic qualifiers, and I'm hoping to qualify also with a gold medal and to the Olympic Games also, and to bring gold medal. If they could give me the opportunity, I'm there to do my best.
You were also in Italy?
Yeah.
Were you in Italy?
No,
you were not in Italy. Okay, good. So you really want that opportunity so you can...
Exactly, I want the opportunity to prove myself, and so to give Ghana an Olympic medal, gold medal as well.
Finally, what are you doing between now and when the team is reconstituted?
All right, so now I'm still preparing, and if they could call me a camp, I'm ready to do it also for Ghana, because not that something that I can't do it, but I've done it before and I can still do it. So I'm still preparing for that. If they could give...
Now, let's talk about other disciplines, specifically in football, where in Techiman there was a footballing competition organized by the MP of the area to unearth talents in the sport. My colleague Anas Sabit was there and has more in this report.
A total of 132 teams from 8 different zones participated in the maiden edition of the Ajari Inter-Community Soccer Gala, with the Super Zonals being held here at the Jamatimponim Ajari Community Park. The initiative forms part of the MP's programs of action to foster unity amongst communities in the Techiman North Enclave, with the ultimate aim of unearthing soccer talents for professional career development. Elizabeth Owusu Ejare is the brain behind this and the Member of Parliament for Techiman North.
The reason for organizing Elizabeth Owusu Ejare Inter-Community Gala is to unearth talent for the football profession. And in all, I played 132 teams. It was so amazing. I was not expecting to get that number, but it was so awesome that the people were so interested in the football, and they gave their best to make sure that it became successful. Then at the end of the day, 8 teams qualified for the final. I brought scouts from Juventus. I brought staff to also encourage them, to motivate them so that they see some of these people, talk to them, interact with them, and then encourage them to take football seriously.
Good afternoon, you're welcome to the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Sumayabwa. Now, there are more billionaires in the world right now than ever before. This is according to Forbes, which released its World Billionaires list in 2024 earlier this week. Well, American singer Taylor Swift has joined Elon Musk in ranking amongst the world's wealthiest people in the new Forbes list. That's all for the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Sumayabwa. Over to you, Carlos.
Great, and that's all we have in this hour. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Galoni. Thank you so much for watching. Good afternoon.